forgiven for the AC. And also the hadith here tells us that وَإِنَّ أُمَّتَكُمْ هَذِهِ, and the Prophet started to talk about something which is to do with the future, divine. That at the beginning of it is going to be good, and then after that it's going to be trials, tribulations, something that you don't really accept. It shows at the end of the time we're going to be drifting from the Salafi manhaj. وَأُمُورٌ تُنْكِرُونَهَا. So this is a hadith to tell us that at the end of the time we're going to go away from the Salafi manhaj, from the manhaj to the haqq. So the Prophet ﷺ, this is from the signs of the prophethood, that the Prophet ﷺ is telling us what is going to be taking place later on. Yes, he knows what is happening at the beginning because he is at the beginning, the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then he says, قال وَتَجِيءُ فِتَن, or fitna. There's two narrations here. The tribulation one or tribulations. يُرَقِّقُ بَعْضُهَا بَعْضًا. يُرَقِّقُ بَعْضُهَا بَعْضًا. Translation, what was that? It means making the following easier.
One after the other.
One after the other, those means. It has two meanings. يُرَقِّقُ بَعْضُهَا بَعْضًا. I mean they're all almost the same. They're almost the same, this tribulation. And the other one, which is stronger meaning, and that is that one, it will be strong, but the one after that it will be stronger. So the one you go to the stronger one, you'll go to the other. The first one is nothing compared to the one that's past, which is strong, as I said, because of the continuation of the hadith tells us this is actually this. Because the person who will be struck with something said, I'm going to be finished with this one. Then one comes after that, says, no, this is the one which is stronger than the one in the past. So يُرَقِّقُ بَعْضُهَا بَعْضًا. So the believer would say, I'm done with this. This is going to be finishing me off. Then it will be removed. Or it will go away. And then another fitna will come. And the believer said, this is the one. So that's a stronger one. Here, so the fitan and tribulation will strike the ummah at the end of the time. And we could see that these days. Fitna after a fitna. Okay, just count in how many fitnas you have passed through in the last, let's say, 10 years. You could see how many fitna we've got. Last fitna is fitna Gaza now. Fitna Gaza, the killings, and fitna Gaza amongst the ones who are knowledgeable scholars, who is to support and who is not to support. And this is correct, this is not. It's another fitna as well. Amongst the one which is from the manhaj of Salafi as well. There's a fitna. Allah al-Musta'an. Also, he shows us that the believer, he is to observe his deen to the end of his life. So he should not be indulging into the fitan. Because indulging into the fitan, the person doesn't know what's going to happen to him. In the morning he will be a believer, in the evening he will be a disbeliever. A disbeliever in what he had believed in the morning. Same thing, he will be in the morning a disbeliever, and at the end of the time, at the end of the day, he will become a believer. Because it's fluctuating, and it should not be like that, because you're indulging into the fitna. Keep away from the fitna. So either you're going to go with it with knowledge, speak, or if you don't have knowledge, quiet, because he will strike you, this fitna. Also, that tells us this hadith tells us that we need to be on a good manners, because he says here, قال فمن أحب أن يزحزح عن النار. He who wants to be shift away from the hellfire. زحزح, it means in Arabic something heavy, and need to push it. And that is whims and desire, you need to fight them. Bid'ah, you need to fight them. So you got doubtful matters and you got temptations. You need to push that away. It's not easy to get to Jannah. You need to فَمَنْ زُحْزِحَ عَنِ النَّارِ. See here the Prophet he said زَحْزَحَ, which is synchronized with the ayah of the Quran. فَمَنْ زُحْزِحَ عَنِ النَّارِ وَأُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةِ, and he enters paradise, فَقَدْ فَازَ. His supreme success. So you need to push yourself away from the fire. Why? Because there's a temptation of the dunya. Some people take the dunya as their Jannah, which is a kuffar. As for the believer, the dunya for them is the prison. So let him have his death while he is believing in Allah and the last day. Monotheism, tawheed. And then it says, وَلْيَأْتِ إِلَى النَّاسِ الَّذِي يُحِبُّ أَن يُؤْتَى إِلَيْهِ. Come to the people whom he likes them to come to him. So here it shows us the manners, because you only come to the people who are good people. Shows us as well that the person should all the time be abiding to the good manners. And when you abide with the tawheed, it should make you abide with the manners. Person without manners, then there's something wrong with his tawheed, definitely. So the person, he wants to keep away from the hellfire. it's to die on the La ilaha illallah and the last day, and also let him stick around with those people who are good. Then he says, this is the whole hadith is about the last statement. And he who does give a pledge to the imam, and he had given him his pledge, صفقة يده وثمرة قلبه, and the fruit of his heart, then let him obey him as much as he can. In istata', if he can, let him obey him, because you can't sometimes obey him because it's a sin, or you can't obey him because it's overburdening you. You can't do it. So let him obey him if he can. So if any other person comes now to take and contend with this leader, then kill the other one. And that's important, ikhwani. If this hadith was implemented by the brothers who are in Sudan, we will never have this massacre. Do you remember about the massacre that took place in Sudan? In Sudan, they had a person who was leading them, and then they had these people. They gave them shelter. People, didn't say anything to them, and that's what happened. Killing. Because they did not implement this hadith. If you are, that's it, behind a leader, it doesn't matter he's a tyrant leader, as long as he's a Muslim. And if he comes somebody else to contend with him, you don't give him shelter in the house. This person should be killed. This person should not be there, because he's trying to shake all this steadiness that you have, the safety and security that you got. So فَضْرِبُوا عُنُقَ الْآخَرِ. And that is from the hadith of the Prophet. So we have to fight the transgressing group. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَقَاتِلُ الَّتِي تَبْغِي. Fight the one what? Transgresses. حَتَّى تَفِيءَ إِلَى أَمْرِ اللَّهِ. Until he goes to the matter of Allah, to the straight path. فَإِنْ فَاءَتْ فَأَصْلِحُوا بَيْنَهُمَا. If they are to be onto the straight path, then rectify between the two groups. Why? Because we want to make sure that we observe and protect the unity of the Jama'ah, of the Muslims. تفضل يا أخي. 669.
Hadith 669. Wa'al ibn Hujr radiallahu an reported